poem is a beginning. It's an examination of the world from the inside. It gives a study of the veins, arteries, the blood vessels, as also the soul which holds it all together. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. When we know love is found. You said you finally realized that you could love people without first knowing their peeves. Anachronistic, you laughed. Strange and strangely beautiful, I thought. I remembered I told you of how I lived my days in strange isolations, passive in a kinetic world, finding barren corners in every crowd, counting hours like miles on a highway lighted with feeble headlamps. My meeting you was like an accident waiting to happen to what was already a wreck. I could now stand on a cloud and call you from a distance, knowing however far you were, you would hear my voice. We quickly became the poems we read together in different cities, the music we shared on Spotify Jam. I now only have to close my eyes and imagine the darkness outside your glowing room, of bats hyperactive in the dying light, and the scratch of insects worrying the closed windows. And you, in your knitted quilt, scrunching your nose at the thought unreconciled, imagining flights in the night and stories you wish didn't end. Stretch yourself out, my love. There is a time for everything. I know both of us will sink into our dreams, but whether we appear in them or not, we would know each other as creatures scouring the darkness for our own version of a dawn. We would know each other as creatures scouring the darkness for our own version of a dawn. Love is, as you define it, often a search, often a precipice, often an infraction, often an acceptance, more often than not, a home we finally settle in, a comfort, a place to step out from the edginess of search to build stories of reconciliations. But life has its outtakes and inputs, twists and twirls, bells and whistles, which do not allow love to rest, because it does not want one basic thing to be forgotten, that love is an effort. Love is a daily ritual. You fall in love again and again with the same person. Beyond the words lies the question of why it matters, because even when undefined or unsaid, love comes in our lives in whisper-soft ways, in thought, in touch, in secret care. Because the universe adores us and spreads its generosity everywhere. No one can say she is unloved. She needs to only look out of the window and see an evening sky or feel a summer breeze. Everything beautiful which loves us doesn't always come with announcements. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. If you enjoyed this poem, rate it on Spotify or leave a comment on Apple Podcast. And I have a lovely newsletter called The Uncuts, which is like a Sunday dollop of warmth and fun and beauty. Subscribe to it. The link is in the show notes. And if you loved this episode, please do share it with someone you love. See you next week.